Awesome. All right, guys. So welcome to our team call. You guys, I'm so freaking excited. Only because I probably wouldn't be this excited if I hadn't heard Brad speak, but I was able to listen in on another call with another team that Brad did, and like it just spoke to me. So I'm going to get to that, but first I just want to cover a couple things, a couple of important dates for you guys while people start to hop on here. So the first date, we have a diamond deadline on March 21st. Those of you, I know who you are. Some of you are really pushing for that. So that's March 21st. On March 18th, we're going to have our team hustle hour. So we're just going to have an hour of work together. We also have the Ultimate Portion Fix launching on March 18th. So please make sure to check out the Snoop group and get your customer lists ready for that. So that's open to customers on the 18th. And then the following week, some of us are going to be on a cruise. We have the Success Club trip, which we are planning a live sneak peek from. So we're going to be running the team sneak peek from the ocean. It's pretty cool. That's basically it. I'm not going to go into recognition or anything tonight because I'm going to jump right in. So we have Brad Bizjack speaking on our team call tonight, and I just have a couple notes because I want to make sure. I don't even need notes because I've heard the call before, but he really just focuses on mindset and practicing gratitude and negative self-talk and literally getting yourself unstuck from your business. You guys, we're entrepreneurs, and like this business has ups and downs, and I know sometimes we just like spin our wheels and we just get stuck. Like we're human, but Brad just speaks to that so well, and I'm so excited to have him speak. He just really wants everybody to see success, and his story and everything is super inspiring, and he speaks our language because he has coached before. So Brad, I'm just going to hand it over to you. Welcome to our team call, and I am so excited.
Sweet. What's going on, guys? Can you hear me? Is that microphone coming through? Give me a thumbs up if it's coming through. Awesome, awesome, awesome. What is going on, everyone? Thank you so much for the privilege of being able to speak to you guys tonight. I want you to know that I do not take this opportunity for granted. I know this time is something you don't get back. So my goal tonight is just to bring you above and beyond value, to master this thing, to master that negative self-talk that prevents you from getting to where you want to be. You've heard, right? You got to change your thinking, all that stuff, but how the hell do you do that? That's what we're going to talk about tonight. And so, just like Lindsay mentioned, I was a Beachbody coach for 5 years. Absolutely love everything about Beachbody coaching. And if it wasn't for my purpose, my passion, conflicting with Beachbody coaching and being a conflict of interest, where it would be against compliance to do both, I'd still be coaching because it's just fantastic and such an incredible business. So I'm going to share from my experience of coaching. So those mindset blocks, when it comes to inviting those fears, whatever it is that you face, I've had them. I've literally lived them. And that's what we're going to break through today. Before I broke through and created a great business, we're gonna get to all those things that keep you stuck and how to break through it. So before we start, if you could turn the Instagram stories off, the TVs off, put the kids in a closet, whatever you have to do, just be fully present. And let's start with some participation and type in the chat box, what is a really big goal that you have for 2019? What's a really big goal? Type that in the chat box. It can be related to your Beachbody business, anything at all, doesn't matter. Diamond, also keep them coming, guys. There's a really cool thing about these goals that you type in. Help 100 people, 5-star, these are amazing. Third CBC, heck yeah. Like all these things, guys, incredible, right? And there's a recipe to making it happen. There's a way to do it. There's a simple process to achieve those goals. And you know that. You know to do your basic business building activities. That's your recipe, but something you might miss along the way is how you use your ingredients in that recipe is what matters. So what does that mean? That could mean that if your mindset is off, you think you're setting really big goals, but you're actually setting a goal based out of fear. How many of you have set a goal in 2019 that's smaller and safer because you're afraid of not being able to hit a bigger goal? That is because mindset is off. You could invite 1 billion people to your challenge group, But if your mindset's off, you're actually going to repel them and they're all going to avoid you or say no. You could have the best trainings for your team in the world, but if your mindset's off, they're never going to want to do it, right? They're never going to run with you. You could put hours and hours and hours into challenge groups and supporting your clients. But somewhere along the way, if your mindset's off, they're going to feel like a pawn that you're using. So my reason for sharing that is what goes on in your mind, your self-talk, your mindset is by far and above the most important piece out of your business growing. And you've heard that before, right? You've heard change your thinking, change your life a million times. But tonight you're going to learn how to apply that, especially when you hit a place in your life where you don't want to. When, you know how sometimes if you get into a down state or depressed or sad or something like that, you kind of want to stay there. Like if you're upset or if you're angry, you want to stay pissed off, right? You want to stay sad. And so what happens when you drop in rank? What happens when you miss Success Club? Instead of staying in that down place, we're going to break through it. So where does negative self-talk come from? Where do these limiting beliefs come from? Where do these disempowering questions come from? I'm going to share with you a couple of stories about my past, about where I came from. And the reason I share these with you is so you can see how I broke through them. So you might not be able to relate, and that's okay, but if you can, awesome. And I see a couple of some Appreciation Academy members on here too, so you guys know this story already. It's good to see you guys on here. But let's dive into this little story so you can see how I reversed this. So growing up, I had an emotional roller coaster of a childhood. And it gave me really, really screwed up beliefs about how life is. And type yes if you can relate to the topic of money stress at any point in your life, whether past or present. Money stress. Huge, huge previous limiting belief of my life. Massive. And I remember growing up, my parents would scream and fight about money every day. And that's not an exaggeration, no hyperbole. That is not meant to just, not for effect in the call, actually fight and scream every single day. And I remember one of the fights my parents were having when I was a little kid, I was probably like 10. And they were fighting again about why the bank account was getting overdrawn for like the second time that week. And swear words getting thrown around left and right. And I remember just going to my mom and being like, Mom, why do you guys have to fight about stupid money? I was just a curious little kid, right? I didn't realize that money was this big, huge thing in their lives. I just said, why do you guys always have to fight about it? And in that moment, she tells me, excuse my language, she tells me, shut the fuck up, go to your room, don't need you around me right now. That was just normal. That's just how she kind of talked to us as kids. But what was really kind of emotionally troubling as a kid is that my dad comes over with a soap dispenser and starts pouring soap on my mom's head and on her back and all over her and like swearing at her, saying all these things about you never talk to your kids that way, all that stuff, right? So I was thinking to myself in that moment, I was like, wait, money caused this? Like, money must be bad. Money is something you shouldn't have. And I just hated it. I hated and feared having money. I had this inner conflict about money for the rest of my life until I learned how to fix this. There was always too much month and at the end of the money. How many of you can relate to too much month at the end of the money? That was my past. That's what I struggled with. And I believed money was bad. And I believed it made you a bad person. I believed it tore relationships apart because I saw my parents get divorced because of it. And it took me that long to propose to my wife, 6 years, I think, because I was afraid that if we had money, it would rip us apart. So my reason for bringing that up is because you can imagine when I started my Beachbody business, I want to create the big dreams. I want to create the 15-star diamond team and the million club and the financial freedom and all this stuff and all these amazing things that would change my life. But I believe money is bad. Do you see the disconnect? Do you see how that might hold me back in some way? So I wonder how many of you are held back in a similar way. And on top of that, I had a really tough relationship with my mom. Now, how many of you can relate to a turbulent relationship with a family member in some way? Type yes in the chat box if that's you. Any way, shape, or form, past, present, whatever it is. And let me just say that I love my mom. Very good person deep down. She's just deeply hurting. And I've had to forgive her for the pain of my past. I've had to forgive her for the pain of my childhood. I have to keep forgiving her because she still does things to break my heart on a regular basis. And I have a whole other call that I can do for you guys at a different time. In fact, I teach this in detail in my course. But one of the things that I talk about is how I didn't realize that her being that negative in my life was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because life is made up of events and meaning. And you can either choose to give a disempowering situation a disempowering meaning, or you can flip it and give it an empowering meaning to change your entire life. I didn't realize that at the time, right? And I just remember when I was a little kid, I'd be coming home from school, and I remember getting there, and I'd walk across the lawn, type in the pin code in my garage, and I'd walk in the door, and the house just reeked of cigarette smoke. And I remember my mom puffing on a cigarette, playing a game on the computer in the other hand. And I remember it was like walking on eggshells. I never knew what I was going to get. I didn't know if I was going to get a, hey, sweetie, how was your day? I didn't know if I was going to get a, go to your room, I don't need to talk to you right now. I never knew if I was going to get the whole, this is the problem in my life, or this is the challenge of the week, or whatever it is, right? I didn't know what I was going to get, but most of the time, love was used as a weapon against me. Love was this thing where I had to earn it, right? And I never felt worthy of my mom's love. So every time I got home, most of the times that I got home, from the memories that I have, it was shut up and go away. It was a, why are you talking to me right now? I don't need the opinion of a punk kid in my life. Like, that was the vibe growing up. And there were other things that happened besides that, but my main point in bringing this up is that it messed with how I lived my life. I grew up not feeling like I was enough. I felt like I was never worthy of someone's love. I never felt like I was worthy of achieving great things. And so you might have a different story, but can you relate to this where, like, if I have these big goals and these big dreams to create this incredible business, but I'm not enough, do you see the difference? Right? Exactly, Caitlin. Whose parents did you crave love from the most? And what did you need to be for them? That's actually from Tony Robbins. 100% totally agree with that. Yes, that's where I learned how to get through this from. Yes. So you might have a different story, but where can you relate? What limiting belief or beliefs do you have now because of something that happened years ago that you haven't forgiven or changed the meaning of yet? Because when you're little, you are incredibly impressionable. And it's in those times that your belief about your abilities and yourself starts to take shape. So my reason for sharing that is because when I started my Beachbody business, it did not matter how many people I reached out to. It didn't matter how many posts I put up. It didn't matter how many team calls I created for my team or anything, all these new trainings. It didn't matter. It was always, I just felt stuck. I felt like they had all the tools they need. I had all the tools I needed too, but we just couldn't break through. And on top of that, my bank account was overdrafting, and I became like best friends with my deepest fear, and that was mediocrity. And I had to figure out how to fix it. So I went on this journey of changing my entire life. I invested thousands of dollars into personal growth and development when I didn't have money. And I remember I had to figure out how to break through this negative self-talk, these limiting beliefs that were getting in the way of my true ability. And it led me to becoming the person that I am now. It led me to the creation of my course that I'll talk about at the end. That program is how I changed my life. But the reason I say this is because when I tried to build a business, the overwhelming amount of negative self-talk and the lack of belief and the secret obstacles that I didn't even realize were going on up here, they stopped me in my tracks. How many of you feel like you have limiting beliefs preventing you from getting to where you want to be? And if you're saying no, that's a limiting belief in itself. So if you really pay attention on this call, you're going to learn 3 of the major steps that I took to exploding my life. So number 1, write this down. Number 1, your thoughts are always the reason. Your thoughts are always the reason. What does that mean? Well, you got to change the way you think. And you've heard that before a million times, but I'm talking about rewiring the way you naturally think. Like when challenge arises, how do you respond to that challenge? And so let me go through some stuff to show you what I mean by that. You start to tell yourself some stories in your life, right? You say these things over and over again, and whatever you say over and over and over again, you start to believe. You say things like money is bad, building a team is hard, it's so much easier for Lindsay, I'm not enough. And if you say that crap enough times, you start to believe it, don't you? Right? Whatever you repeat to yourself, you actually believe is true. So for example, outside of Beachbody, have you ever been like at a party over the years? And to sound cooler than you actually are, you exaggerate a story just to get more laughs or more attention, right? I've done that before so many times. And then you get more laughs, more attention, so the next time you come back to that party, the next time a couple of weeks later, you exaggerate the story again. And now you keep doing it over the years, and now it's 5 years into the future. You don't even know what part of that story is bullshit or not. You just believe it's true with every part of your being, and then every once in a while you're going, wait, is that actually true? You don't even know. The same thing happens with negative self-talk. Only instead of it being a fun party topic, it sabotages your whole life. This is how a lot of us are wired, is your default software. And we go through life believing this. It creates inner conflict. It changes the way we lead our life and our business. It causes us to force things all the time. And we have no idea how to fix it. We just feel stuck. So to change this, you have to believe that you're enough before the evidence of your business says that you're enough. This is so important. You have to believe that you're worthy of getting to that goal weight before you're ever going to get there. You have to believe that you're able to create those dollars if you ever want your bank account to change. And it's really hard to believe that if the evidence of your life is saying that's not true. And you can change these beliefs by changing your questions. That's how you do it, right? A lot of us don't know how to actually believe that. You do it by changing your questions. Better questions change your entire life. Better questions will eliminate negative self-talk. Better questions will explode your business. How many of you, type yes if this is you, where some of you guys are going to type yes before I even say what it is, aren't you? Where you're in a place where you are trying to believe that you're good enough or that you deserve something great, but you don't actually believe it. Like you want to believe you can achieve a big goal, but you don't believe it, right? Maybe this will make more sense. If you do a vision board or you do a goal setting exercise and you write out the goal and you're so excited by it, like it would change your entire world. Everything about your life would drastically change if you achieve that goal. But like the second you look at it, you already know you're not going to get there. You know what I'm talking about? Like there's that little voice back here that just whispers doubt and insignificance into your subconscious mind that says, you're never going to do that, right? You see the debt-free sign, you see the mansion, you see the car on your goal list, you see all that stuff. And you go, that would change my whole world. But you already know you can't do it. You know what I'm talking about? You got to change that thinking. And we can't do it all in 1 hour, but I can give you a start to the process. So first, what is thinking? Thinking is nothing more than the process of asking yourself a question. That's all thinking is. Just you asking yourself questions. So some of you guys are doing it right now. You're looking and going, is that true? That's you thinking. You're asking, is that true? Right? So if you ask yourself bad questions, you get really bad answers. If you ask yourself great questions, you get really great answers. And some examples of those might be, so for bad, that might mean, why am I not enough? Why is it so much easier for other people? Why can't I complete that vision board, right? Why am I not pretty enough? Why am I too fat? Why am I so broke? Those are disempowering bad questions. Some great questions might be, why am I so worthy of this? Why do I deserve my dreams? Why am I a great mother? Why am I a great spouse? Why am I worthy of success? Those would be examples of great questions. Whatever you ask, you get an answer to, right? The mistake I made is I thought I just had to keep pounding the pavement and hitting Success Club over and over and over again. And yes, you do. You got to hit Success Club over and over and over again. But there comes a point when you keep pushing for it and keep missing it, or keep hitting it and your business still isn't growing, and you start to wonder what's up. It's inner conflict. It's in here. So let me show you an example in your life, like right now, to show you what I mean. Look around the room you're in right now and count the number of things that you can find that are red. Ready, go. Count the things that are red. Look for red, count the things that are red. Look for red, 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 look for red. Keep looking for red, look for red, look for red, look for red, look for red. Hold up your hands. How many things did you find that were red? 10, 9, 5, 3, 7, 8. Awesome. Someone actually raised their hand on here and clicked the raise my hand button. Cool. Found a bunch of them, right? 5 of them. How many things did you find that were blue? No idea. Why? Because you weren't looking for it, were you? But check this out. Look around the room for everything you can find that's blue. Ready, go. Look for blue. 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 Holy cow, there's so much more blue. Look for 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 blue. Holy cow, there's so much blue. Hold up your hands. How many more things did you find that were blue? How many? And how many of you saw green and pretended it was blue just so you feel successful with this exercise? So what does this prove? This proves that when you focus on red, you don't even notice the blue that's around you. And when you focus on blue, you weren't focused on red, were you? You didn't even notice it. When you look for one, you can't find the other, right? So when you focus on what you don't want, why am I so fat? Why am I not enough? Why am I so stuck? Why is this so hard to build? Those are the red seeds of doubt and skepticism and pain. And those thoughts will grow in your mind like weeds. Like they naturally happen in your mind. Why? Remember what Jim Rohn said? He said, stand guard at the gates of your mind or weeds will grow automatically. What does that mean? That means unless you flood your mind with blue, it's automatically going to find red. Now, why is that? Because your brain doesn't really care if you're happy or not. Your brain doesn't care if you're happy or not. Your brain's only job is to make sure you survive. So at any moment in time, it's looking for what to protect you from. So when you think of a big goal, like going after 5-star or elite or 10-star, whatever your big next goal is, your brain's going, whoa, 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 don't go after that. That could mean rejection. That could mean failure. That could mean pain. That could mean people turning you down, right? So you go, wait, okay, I'll set a safe goal instead. Your brain's literally just doing its job. So why is this? Well, millions of years ago, we actually needed our brains to survive, right? They were a survival mechanism. You were worried about the saber-toothed tiger hiding in the bushes that was going to eat your kid. You were worried about how you were going to survive the ice age. You were worried about how you were going to find shelter, right? That's what you were worried about. They're primal, real fears. Now we don't have those same fears anymore. All that stuff's taken care of. So you're worried about sending an invite or posting vulnerably. And so your brain is literally looking for anything that could go wrong at any time. So if you're ever an ass to yourself, it's just your brain doing its job. That's all that's happening here. So stand guard at the gates of your mind or weeds will grow automatically. That means unless you flood your mind with what you want and big dreams and big goals and the fact that you can, you're going to automatically find why you can't. Does that make sense? And just like you talked about, if you're looking for why you can't, you'll never find why you can't. So ask yourself this right now. How do we relate this to Beachbody? Try this. Ask yourself this. Why is my business so hard to build? Ask yourself that. Why is my business so hard to build? What happens? Listen to all the answers that pour out of you. How motivated do you feel when you ask yourself that? Not motivated at all, right? And even when you read positive thinking, happy, inspirational, self-help books, it doesn't change the fact that you have the voice in your head that says, you can't do this, right? I shared a couple of my biggest limiting questions. Why is money so bad and why am I not enough? For my stories a minute ago, there were plenty more, but those are my two big ones. What are yours? Type them into the chat box. What are yours? Maybe this triggers a couple. How many of you say, why isn't my team doing anything? Why can't I get it right? Why is it so easy for everyone else but me, Connie, right? Like, why don't people want to join me? How come I always mess it up? Why is it so hard to lose weight? Why am I so broke? Why am I so fat? Why is it so much easier for Lindsay? Why can't I do anything right? Will I always be this stuck? How many of you guys are mean to yourself and say stuff like that on a regular basis? And it doesn't even need to be those. It can be your version, whatever that means, just a disempowering question. Those are limiting beliefs. And it doesn't feel very good to ask that, does it? I bet it leads to a lot of pain, a lot of procrastination, and there you are looking at your life so frustrated with the results you're getting, and no matter how much someone tells you they believe in you, it doesn't change the fact that you have that voice in your head that says, you can't do this. Do you know what I'm talking about, or am I crazy? Right? So how do we change this? Well, when you set a goal, your dominant beliefs will determine if that goal actually comes true. And setting goals, guys, is nothing more than the process of trying to create a new reality, that as opposed to your current reality. That's all goal setting is. You're trying to create a new reality. The gap in the middle between where you are and where you want to be is how you talk to yourself. It's whether you're looking for red or looking for blue. And until that language is consistently blue, you're going to find yourself really, really struggling to get to your goals. You're just going to feel stuck. I know this because I lived it. So let's use the example of why isn't my team growing? When you ask that, what happens? Try it right now. Try it in your own mind right now. Say, why isn't my team growing? Do you notice your brain looks for an answer? Your brain looks for it, right? And even if you're successful, you start to question yourself. That's how insidious negative self-talk is. Something you need to understand is that your entire life can be changed by asking more empowering questions. Your brain is a Google search engine. It will answer whatever you type into the search bar. So what if you intentionally reverse what you type in? What if you type in blue, knowing that if you don't, it will automatically type in red, right? What if you intentionally choose a blue question that will lead you to a better life? You're looking for an answer anyway, so you might as well program your mind with something that's going to lead you to a better life. When you say, why is it so hard to build my team? What's your brain do? It finds all the reasons why you can't do this. And so when you sit down to work, you're literally looking for why you're not capable. So you don't send the invites, you scroll Facebook. You don't support and serve your teammates the best way possible. You check in with them and you wonder why more aren't coming to you, right? And here's what's crazy. There are amazing opportunities and people and solutions to your life's challenges blue around you every single day. But because you're focused on why is it so hard, red, you won't even notice blue. Does that make sense? Self-sabotage steps in. You won't even see the person that's sitting next to you on the bus or on, at Starbucks that literally has high blood pressure, and you could literally save their life with Shakeology. You won't notice them because you're looking for red. You won't even think to ask the mom next door if she wants to take a look into coaching because you're too focused on why it's so hard. And she has no idea how she's going to pay for her kid's college education, but you have her freedom trapped in your mouth right now. You won't even think to ask her because you're focused on why it's so damn hard. But try this. Ask yourself, why is it so easy to build my business? What happens? Or why is it so easy to rank advance in March? You look for an answer, don't you? Or why is it so easy to hit emerald by tomorrow? What happens? You focus on the opportunities, the people you could reach out to, the sacrifices you could make to build your business. When you say, why is it so easy to hit emerald by tomorrow? You go, oh, that's only 2 people. I can ask 20 and probably 2 will say yes. Awesome, cool, I'll figure it out, right? Can you imagine if you fill your mind with this every day and you start looking for blue intentionally? And here's the key. You don't need to have the answer. You just need to look for what you want, because when you know where you're going, the outcome you want, and why it's important to you, you'll figure out how. You don't need to know how. The how will reveal itself. But live in a blue question that leads to a better life. Every problem you face is just an empowering question you haven't asked yourself yet. That's it. So for your life and for your business, you're going to write down your homework coming out of this in half an hour. You're going to write down all the negative crap you ask yourself on a regular basis, not just your business, but all parts of life. Why am I so broke? Why is my business not growing? Why am I stuck? Why am I so fat? Why does my husband always annoy me? Whatever it is, write down all the crap you ask yourself on a regular basis that's disempowering. We all have it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to flip it on its head. You're going to turn that into the empowering alternative. Why is it so easy to insert dream? Or why am I so wealthy? Or why am I living an abundant lifestyle? Or why is this business so easy for me? Or why am I such a great leader? Those are just some examples. You're basically just taking the empowering alternative of a disempowering question. Like 2 questions that changed my entire life. Number one, why am I so kind to myself every single day? And number 2, why am I worthy of living an amazing life? Those 2 questions changed my entire life, guys. Because guys, life gets 100% easier if you're 1% nicer to yourself. And those are 2 questions that will make you be nicer to yourself. So what you're going to do is you're going to take these new empowering questions and you're going to flood your mind with it. Remember, if you're looking for blue, you can't find red. My wife probably thought I was literally crazy because I recorded my questions on my phone. I listened to them while I was sleeping. I listened to them while I was taking the dog on a walk. I listened to them while I was doing the dishes, showering, whatever it was. I was literally not giving my brain a fighting chance to find red. I was reprogramming my mind with what I wanted, so I couldn't even find what I did. Like, could you imagine if you had Post-it notes all over your house with empowering questions, or one of those Post-it notes was written in your car dashboard, or the alarm that went off on your phone in the morning that said, why is it so easy to fall in love with my spouse again today? Like, can you imagine what your relationship would look like if you asked yourself that question every day? It'd be drastically different. Even if it's already great, it'd be exponentially better because you're putting intentionality behind a dream. Or what if you ask yourself, how many of you have kids? Raise your hand if you have kids. You guys have kids? Okay. If you had an alarm that went off on your phone 5 minutes before your kids got home from school or woke up from a nap that said, why is it so easy to be such a loving mother today? And that's the last thing you read before they wake up or they get home. How will they change? Yes, Lindsay, nice. How will their lives change forever? From one question. One question. How much confidence will they have because you were more present with them? Your life will change if you do this, guys. It is a guarantee, a promise. It's not just some positive thinking BS. It's real. This will change your life. It changed mine. You're planting new thought seeds and you're watering these blue seeds daily with a question. Then all of a sudden you stop watering the disempowering plants. You let those weeds die in your garden. You put some weed killer on them, right? And now the only ones that you water are the blue flowers. And within less time than you think, your garden is gorgeous. It's blooming with so many colors. It's giving your life oxygen again. And when you have oxygen in your life and you feel alive, guess what happens? People flood to you. This is where it seems easy to build a business. This is why the most successful teams have people coming to them. It's because they're magnetic. It's because they attract people by their energy. They don't have to fight as much for it because people just want to be part of their life. Would that help in your business if that happened for you? Yes, it would. Is this one mindset strategy helpful? Think you can use this in your life and your business? Yes? I got 2 more for you. Number 2, write this down. Your problem is not the problem. How you face your problem is the problem. What does that mean? Your problem isn't the problem. How you face your problem is the problem. That means when you are so emotionally attached to a goal coming true, you actually push that goal away from you. Now, what does that mean? Don't take that to mean that you shouldn't be excited about your goals. You absolutely should be excited and pumped up and get your hopes up about your goals. Absolutely. What I mean is, when your happiness is dependent on a goal, you're making that goal so much harder to achieve. So how many of you type yes if you find yourself pushing really hard for goals and they seem to evade you in some way? Like they're just flirting with you. Like it's like 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Or you lose 5 pounds, then you gain 7. Or how about this? How many of you hit goals and feel hollow and empty inside and you don't know why? It's because, yes, find joy in the now, 100%. It's because it must happen in order for you to be happy. When you think that way and you come up short, or even if you hit a goal, how do you feel? You always feel empty. You feel like your self-worth takes a hit. It leaves the compounding negative self-talk, and all these disempowering stories in your head, these red things that you're asking yourself are amplified. And you start to believe that you can't do this. When you try to build a business that way, how the heck do you do it? It's overwhelming, it's intense, it's stressful. You can't figure it out. It feels defeating because you have no idea how to solve it. Your challenges, remember, are just a question that you have to ask. They're not responsible for your happiness. And huge important note here, and this is the overarching focus of everything that I teach. I'll talk about at the end how you can work with me after this if you'd like to, but the overarching theme of everything that I teach is simply this: business and success do not cause happiness. Happiness causes success. Happiness and appreciation for the journey you are on and the challenge is how you overcome the challenge. Most people look for the answer externally. The answer you need is in your spirit. Most people don't get that. I didn't. It's why I stayed so stuck. I viewed where I was as wrong. I said I should be at this rank by now. I should be at this weight by now. I should be at this income by now. And whenever you say you should be somewhere else, what you're basically doing is you're pushing away the lesson life's trying to teach you. And the lesson life is trying to teach you is going to get louder and louder and louder and louder until you listen. Where you are right now is not wrong. You should not be anywhere else. When you can love where you're at, even if you're challenged, even if you are having a difficult time financially or emotionally, whatever it is, then all of a sudden you can get to your goals. You don't need to find the answer because the journey you're on is the answer. Seeing your current good is how you increase more good. That's the fastest way to do it. Most people think that they'll have more good when they get to the goal. No. If you can appreciate your life now and appreciate the challenge now, yes, Caitlin, 100%. If you can appreciate that now, then you all of a sudden, you don't have to work nearly as hard for exponentially better results. So step into the common sense corner. If you're God, the universe, whatever you believe in, and you have person A and person B down on your creation that you worked really hard to build up, right? Yeah, person A and person B, right? And person A is that person that just bitches all day long. Person that focuses on how they don't have enough, how they'll never be enough, how it's so much easier for other people, how Emerald is so hard, and how they don't know enough people, and how they can't do social media marketing. They don't want to be judged. They don't have the spousal support they need. They're overdrafting their bank account. It's raining outside, just going to be another bad day, right? That's person A. Person B is that person that goes, oh my gosh, I am so excited to hit 10-star elite this year. I just signed up yesterday, and I love that. I just signed up yesterday, and I'm so pumped to get there and change my family's life forever. We just overdrafted our bank account, but this is just such a cool experience and such a cool challenge to break through. And oh my gosh, I'm so excited to lose 100 pounds. I've never worked out before. This is just so exciting. And oh my gosh, there's these little bees outside that they fly around in the summertime, and like if you get too close to them, they have so much courage, they sting you. It's amazing. It's so cool. And you don't want to get too close, but that's so cool. This place is amazing. And oh my gosh, it's raining outside, and that means my garden is going to grow. This is just such a cool place to be. I love this place. right? Obviously I'm making crap up, but you get the point, right? If you're God, the universe, whatever you believe in, looking down on your creation, right? And you have person A that hates it and person B that loves it, are you going to give more to the person that's complaining about having less? Or are you going to give more to the person that loves everything they already have? You just found out what abundance is. It's you loving your life as is. It's you already having more than enough. That's abundance 101, right? It's you just loving everything about even the challenges that you face. And when you do this, it becomes so much easier to get to your goals, because instead of slamming down on that gas pedal to get to your destination, just desperately wishing you could go faster, and you're death gripping that steering wheel and smoke coming out your tires and all these other cars are flying by you on the highway to success and you have no idea why you're so stuck, you realize the only thing that's been wrong this entire time is that your emergency brake is on. That's it. So to go further faster, you don't need to push down harder on the pedal of success. You just need to chill and release the brake and love where you're at. Most people try to climb this. This is what I did. I tried to climb this big mountain of success saying I'd be happy when I got to the top. Ask yourself if that's you. I'll be happy when I get to diamond. I'll be happy when I get to my debt paid off or whatever it is. And like put your goal on top of a mountain for a second. The problem with that is that it's the same thing as trying to climb a mountain with a blindfold on. Because if you do that, you're going to trip, you're going to fall, you're going to break an ankle. It's going to take you way longer to find the trail. And it's going to take you exponentially longer to get to the top. And even if you happen to get to the top, even if you happen to make it up there, you can't even see the beauty around you. You won't even notice it because that blindfold is on, right? So what if you just take that blindfold off? What if you appreciate all the beauty around you as you go? What if you take water breaks when you need to? You're probably going to need some performance lines, so what if you take some Energize, right? What if you just relax and chill and appreciate the scenery and the wildlife and the weather and just love the hike? When you're in a state of this must happen and then I can be happy, how does it come off in everything you do? How do your invites change negatively if that's how you live? How do your social media invites change, your social media posts, your leading your team? Everything changes because you seem desperate. So, and even more importantly than that, how does it affect your relationship with your husband or wife? And most people are trying to build a business that way. It is, yeah, exactly. It comes off as not enough. And it won't work. That will not work. So what if you let it go? And what if you just chill and be okay and happy either way? What if you take that blindfold off? You love the ups and the downs, the valleys and the peaks. You become committed to the goal, super excited for it, absolutely going for the big dream. And you commit to loving the hike. You become committed to your dreams, not attached to them, where your happiness is dependent upon them. So what if you make a decision tonight that you're going to do this for the growth you experience along the way and how you can impact other people's lives? If you go after your dreams for growth and contribution instead of just achieving more money or having it easier in life, all of a sudden it gets so much easier. What if you do this for the growth from now on? And what if you do all your vital behaviors for the person you become? If that's what you do, even if you drop in rank, even if you miss Success Club, even if someone quits, meaning you go down that hill away from that peak, you still learn something instead of hate something. And when you learn something, meaning it's not wrong to be going downhill, doesn't it make it so much easier to get back up? So much easier. It feels like you're taking a step back, but you're actually taking a massive leap forward. Living this way makes success so much easier. And so, like I said, I can't get into the whole system of how to do that on a 1-hour call. That's what my course is for. But I can give you one final tip to make this so much easier. You guys have time for one more? This is absolutely life-changing if you allow it to be. I call this the secret sauce. The secret sauce. You might know it as genuine gratitude. And I know some of you that are just starting off, you're looking at me going, gratitude's not something you can do to get more results in business. Yes, it is. Gratitude is a business tool. Gratitude is a weight loss tool. Gratitude is a financial tool. It's not just something you do to feel happy. It's actually a strategy that successful people choose to do on a regular basis. Because, write this down, it is impossible to feel pain when you're grateful. You cannot feel depressed or anxious and grateful simultaneously. You can't feel both of them at once. You cannot feel frustrated and grateful simultaneously. And you can't. It's literally impossible. So for a lot of us, like, we experience pain in our lives, right? Pain in life is guaranteed, whether that's something as simple as a return order or someone dying in our family, right? Both extremes, right? Simple and really deep. Either way, that pain is guaranteed. It's coming. But suffering from that pain is your choice. It's up to you. And gratitude is how you no longer feel it, because you can't feel sad and grateful simultaneously. It's like trying to be super sad and jumping up and down in the mirror naked. It doesn't work, right? And some of you guys are going, what? No, you can't. Like, I've practiced gratitude and I felt sadness before at the same time. Then you haven't practiced real gratitude. You've practiced the bullshit gratitude where you complain about things all day long and then write 5 things in a journal to feel better about it. That's what a lot of people do. They complain about things that are going on, saying they should be further along, and they journal about 5 things to count their blessings to make themselves feel a little bit better. Now, I'm not saying that journaling about things you're grateful for is a bad thing. You absolutely should do that. That's fantastic. But if you don't internalize the gratitude and you feel it in your heart, it's just another thing on your checklist. It's not anything for you unless you actually feel it. So gratitude is something you feel in your heart. It's deep. It's real. Remember, seeing your current good, being grateful for your current good, is the fastest way to increase more good, right? So some of the best ways to do this is to have some perspective and to realize that we already have a lot to be grateful for. So think about this. You're watching a video about mindset from anywhere in the world. You could be in the UK, Canada, the US, anywhere. But you're probably on a couch or in a safe apartment, or you probably have a blanket over you right now. You probably are going to wonder what you're going to have for date night on Friday. You probably take your kids to the doctor to get treated for medical care. You can probably take your dog to the vet to get treated for hot spots on their arm, all that stuff. And you can probably turn on your Apple TV tonight after we finish this to watch a movie, or Marie Kondo's Tidying Up, or Friends, or whatever your show of choice is. And a lot of you take that for granted. When someone is going to literally kill themselves in the next 40 seconds. Think about that for a second. When there's a mother out there that's going to watch her baby starve to death in the next 2 hours. When there are people out there injecting needles into their arm to cope with pain. When there are countries that still live in communism. When 2/3 of this world lives on $900 a year, $2.50 a day. If you can't pay your electric bill, you are rich beyond measure. You are not broke, no matter what your bank account says. You are abundantly wealthy, and you need to start believing that right now if your situation's ever going to change. You're so accustomed to the miracles happening around you every single day that you don't even see them as miracles anymore. Most of you view miracles as scarce and don't appreciate how literally everything around you was once a thought or an idea. This team you're on was once an idea that Lindsay had. That's all it was. It was that'd be cool. Right? It'd be oh, I hope that happens, right? That's all it was, which proves that you can create miracles any second of any day. We have the tendency to let go of gratitude and make it a rule that we can only be happy if that next thing happens. And just like we talked about a minute ago, that is setting you up to suffer. If you can take away one sentence from this entire call, it's the following sentence. Nothing has to happen for you to be happy. Nothing. And as long as you structure your life in a way where your happiness is dependent on something else, something you don't control, a rank, a goal, what someone says, how your spouse acts, you're never going to be fulfilled in the way you desire. You're going to feel stuck in life. How many of you feel this right now? Even if you have success, you could be winning at life and feel like you're losing because the scorecard you're using to measure success is unfair. It only allows you to feel happy if the next thing happens. And achievement without gratitude is total failure. Total failure. You are breathing. You are alive. That should be enough to smile about. And if you're smiling, guess what happens? Business gets pretty easy pretty quick, doesn't it? It gets easy to create these businesses when you're happy. Because remember, business and success don't cause happiness. Happiness causes success. And gratitude is one of the tools to do that. A lot of you have these big, high expectations of your spouse, your kids, your team, your volume, your sales. And when your life conditions, meaning the way life is right now, doesn't align with how you think it should be, you get really frustrated, right? Like you have these rules of what needs to happen for you to be happy. You need to let that go. Gratitude needs to become a regular practice. And I don't mean the BS gratitude where you say all these things that are wrong about your life and then you focus on writing 3 things in a journal. That's not what I mean. I mean real gratitude you feel in your heart, because your view of life literally determines your future. So every single day, if you condition your mind to focus on this stuff, slowly the anxiety, the overwhelm, the depression, the fear, it's gonna go away, because happiness is trainable. It's trainable. It's not something you have as a byproduct of life events. It's literally something you condition into who you are. And you're going to become excited about every single day. You are talking to someone that when he built his Beachbody business in the beginning, I knew what I wanted so bad. I wanted my life to change so bad, but I couldn't get myself to do the things I needed to do. I was dominated by fear. I would literally freak out about it and find myself on the couch having these bad days 4 days a week. And I was depressed. I was literally in these bouts of depression watching Netflix. My laptop was literally staring at me going, dude, change your life. You have everything you need. But I couldn't get myself to do it. I couldn't get myself to act. And I just felt so stuck. And I cared so much, but I just didn't care at the same time. Does that make sense? And I was depressed, but even worse, not if this makes sense, I was pissed off at myself for being depressed. I was pissed off at myself for being less than I could be. I was pissed off at myself for staying stuck when I knew that I was meant for greatness, but I couldn't escape my deepest fear, which was mediocrity. And from practicing what I'll teach you guys in my program, the periods of these feelings went from 1 time or 2-3 times a week to 1 time a week to 1 time every 3 months, 6 months, year. Now, my actual natural default setting is happiness. Go figure. I am this annoyingly happy on a regular basis. And it comes and yes, there are days, once every little bit where I get the whole woe is me feeling and get depressed and useless that day, but I can get out of it in 3 minutes. In fact, what I learned from my mentor, Tony Robbins, and I'm going to show you what he taught me, is that you can use gratitude to solve any problem in your life and any problem in your business in 3 minutes. If you don't believe me, your mind's going to be blown in the next couple minutes here, guys. So this is something I learned from him. I do not take credit for this, but it's so powerful that I need to share it with you. So for this portion of the call, get somewhere where you'll allow yourself to feel totally vulnerable, totally present. You're not by kids. You're not on Instagram stories. You're not taking notes. You're not watching TV. You're not on Facebook. And if you know that from being on video, from being on video, you're not going to play as all out and you're not going to experience the emotions, turn your video off. Give yourself this gift for the next 5 minutes and be fully present. I'm telling you, play all out here because this can change your life. You don't need to understand this process. Just know that it's incredibly helpful. And so while you're figuring this whole situation out, getting where you need to be, think of something in your life that stresses you out on a scale of 1 to 10 at a 7, 8, 9, or 10. Something in your life stresses you out, scale of 1 to 10, 7, 8, 9, or 10. And think of how you don't know how to solve that challenge. Think of how you're so stuck and how you just wish it would change and how you don't know how to break through and how you're overwhelmed by it and it dominates your feelings on a regular basis. It's like the storm that dominates your life. Raise your hand if you have your stressor. Anyone you got your stressor? Okay, cool. Close your eyes. Trust me on this. Shake your body out. You don't have to understand this process. Just trust me and play all out here. Shake your body out and take a deep breath in your nose. And exhale out your mouth. Keep those eyes closed. Take another big deep breath in. And exhale out your mouth. And take both your hands and physically put them on your heart for a moment. Physically feel your heart. And breathe deep into your heart. As you breathe, actually imagine the oxygen flowing in your nose, through your heart, and back out your mouth. Another big deep breath in, through your heart and back out your mouth. And notice how your breath has calmed your mind. And feel the power of your heart for a second. Feel the strength of your heart. The beauty, the gift of this incredible vessel that beats in your chest even when you sleep. It beats 100,000 times a day without you having to do anything for it. As long as it beats you, live. It's the best gift you have ever received in your life. So take a moment and just feel so grateful that you get to experience this amazing gift, and just cherish it for a second. Feel that beating in your heart right now, and breathe in the gratitude for your heart beating, and just treasure it and just feel it. And now go back to a memory in your life that you can feel deep feelings of gratitude for. What's a moment, any stage, any time? Could be 10 years ago, could be today, doesn't matter. Just what's a moment that you can step back into that moment like you're there, feeling so grateful. And instead of seeing it from the outside, relive it. See what you saw then. Hear what you heard then. Feel what you felt then now, like it's happening, first person in front of you, all over again. And just breathe that moment into your heart for a second and feel it stack on top of the gratitude for your heart. And just cherish that and love it and just feel so alive from that memory. And just say thank you and appreciate it. And now go to a second memory. What's a second memory in your life? A beautiful moment that you can feel unbelievably deep feelings of gratitude for. What's that moment for you? Step into that moment and just feel so overwhelmingly grateful. See what you saw then, hear what you heard then, feel what you felt then now, like it's happening all over again, feeling so grateful. And just cherish that unbelievably beautiful memory in your life. And stack that on top of your heart and cherish that and feel it and appreciate it. And now, what's a coincidence? Go back to a coincidence in your life. A moment where you didn't make it happen, but it happened. It was just something beautiful that just stumbled upon your life. You were in line at Starbucks and you met the love of your life. You didn't mean to get pregnant, but now you have an amazing family. What's that beautiful coincidence for you? Where you can step back into that moment feeling so grateful because it led to something beautiful in your life that you cherish, a career, a person, an insight, a life change. Maybe you got a message on Facebook and your life changed forever. What is that moment for you where you can step into that feeling so incredibly grateful and cherishing it and loving it, feeling it in your heart? Was that a coincidence or were you being guided the entire time? It's so beautiful when we realize that life is always happening for you and not to you. Even the problems, they're gifts because you grow from them. They lead to a more elevated version of you. So take a second and just feel so deeply grateful for that coincidence that led to something amazing in your life. And just feel so alive because of it and take that all in. And now stack all of these moments on top of each other. Feel the gratitude for your heart beating 100,000 times a day. See that first memory all over again. See that second memory all over again. See that coincidence. Stack it on top of your heart and just feel so overwhelmingly grateful and appreciative for this beautiful gift of life. And now try to triple the amount of just intensity of gratitude that you feel and appreciation for this gift, and just cherish that for a moment and start to let that energy radiate out of you. Like actually imagine you're sending that energy out of you to other people that you love in your life. Feel it going up, out through your head, your arms, your calves, your feet, into the ground, all directions, just circulating, feeling so appreciative, so alive, so happy, so grateful. And just say thank you. Just say thank you for this beautiful gift of life. And take that into your heart. And now, from this beautiful state, from your heart, not your head, from your heart. Remember that stressful situation that you totally forgot about? Go back to that stressor. Go back to that for a second. And from your heart, from this beautiful, deeply grateful place, repeat these words in your own mind. In this situation, all I need to remember is blank. In this situation, all I need to say is blank. In this stressful situation, all I need to do is blank. Because your heart knows the answer, doesn't it? Your heart knows what you need to do or what your next move is. Your heart knows that direction. You can open your eyes. How many of you found something beautiful in that moment? How many of you found direction to a challenging time in that moment? How many of you found the next step that you need to take in that moment? And if you didn't, there are other techniques. Sometimes you still want to suffer a little bit. Sometimes you still want to stay stuck. But type yes if you felt something powerful from that. How many of you guys found something real from that? That is the power of gratitude. And by the way, you just got to peek into the real you. The real you. The you that's not dominated by fear. The you that can take any challenge in her life and dominate it and crush it and find the answer. Because guys, you have one shot at this life. One. And most people go through life trying to stay safe, never really going for it. You are no longer that person. Your life could change at any time. You have one chance, but your clock on life is ticking. And at any moment it could run out. You do not control the length of your life, but you do control its depth and its meaning. You are not put here to experience mediocrity. You are meant to feel fully alive every second of every day. And I can actually teach you how to do that. Because right now, you're exactly where you need to be. You're exactly where you need to be. And when you can be grateful for that, all of a sudden you start finding the answers. You start finding the lesson. Instead of just knowing that, all you have to do to radically change your entire world is make this part of who you are. Make this your default setting. When you do, game over. And you began that process, but can you imagine how the world would change if you made this way of thinking part of your life? If you didn't need a team call to think this way? How many of you have done team calls before, been fired up for 2 days, then gone back to old habits? What if you can make this your default setting? Because this isn't going to be here every day. And if that's something that you'd like to be coached into you, so it's actually how you tick, we've arranged a beautiful opportunity for you to learn how to do it. And guys, if it's okay, I'd just like to take 2 minutes to share that with you. If not, that's totally cool. It's been a privilege to serve you already, but I think you guys felt something real from this. So I'd just like to take just a minute and share that with you. If you've been pushing so hard for a goal, and it seems like it's getting further away, or it seems easier for other people, or you just feel stuck, and even though you do all this personal development, you don't know why you can't break through. And you have all these trainings showing you what to do, but you don't know what's stopping you from seeing success, and more importantly, from just being happy. I've created a course that will teach you how to break through all of it. And I mean all of it. There are people on this call right now that are part of that program. 400 Beachbody coaches already have enrolled in this. The reason you feel stuck is because you have inner conflict. That's it. That's all it is. Negative self-talk, limiting beliefs, lack of worth, all of those things are keeping you stuck in the same spot. You hear the cliches all the time: change your thinking, change your life. Appreciation Academy teaches you how to change your thinking. Instead of just that you need to change your thinking, teaches you how to be happy, how to attract success instead of repel it. And because your leader is incredible, we've arranged a massive discount on the program that keeps going up based on the number of people that enroll, and you'll get a prorated refund at the end. And that counts for payment plans or full pay options available to you. So if things are tight, you can still make it work. And by the way, guys, whether it's through me or through another personal growth expert, whichever direction you feel is right for you, if things are tight right now, that's exactly why you need to invest dollars into your growth. That's why you need to get to Summit. That's why you need to invest in that course. Again, no pressure with this, but that's exactly why you'll get to the next level. If you guys know who Jen Richardson is, 15-star Diamond Coach, Million Club member, 4-time elite coach, she says, and I quote, "Appreciation Academy is the missing link that every Beachbody coach needs to finally see success." And you guys know who Shay Stanford is, 15-star Diamond Coach, Million Club member. She says, and I quote, "This is personal growth on steroids. Every Beachbody coach needs this. Every person needs this." I can go on and on with testimonials. I don't share these to impress you. I share this to impress upon you the power of this. It will rip away the layers of pain that are keeping you stuck. That's what this will do. It's not a business training. Remember, this business and success do not create happiness. Happiness creates success. This teaches you how to silence those inner demons, and it's not something where you sign up and I disappear. It's something where I am fully invested in your growth every step of the way. So if you felt something real from this, if you've been just stuck and wanting to break through and you don't know why, or even if you do have success, you're just not feeling it, you don't know why you're so stuck, I broke that pattern and I can actually teach you how to break through it. You will get unstuck. That is a promise, and that is why I include a 60-day guarantee on it, where if you don't feel this changes your life, I will literally refund you and let you keep it. That is how powerful I am. I know this course will help you. I know this will break you through. So if you'd like to work together as a team, if you felt something real from this, head to bradbizjack.com/team call. bradbizjack.com/team call. After this talk, Lindsay's going to post all these details in your team page right after we hop off here tonight. But again, that's bradbizjack.com/team call, and you can automatically get that 30% discount on this program. And if the discount keeps going up, I'll refund you after the promotional period ends. So thank you guys so much for the opportunity to speak to you guys tonight. It's a privilege to serve you. And Lindsay, I will turn it back over to you to share your thoughts.
Speechless. Honestly, I just knew that I'm getting messages being like, oh my God, this is me. This spoke to me. And I knew exactly what it was going to be like. It speaks to so much more than just a business level, but just life in general, and the tools and practices that you can live an abundant life. Nothing needs to hold you back. And I can speak to what Jen Richardson says because I'm in the groups with her and people are asking, and she has nothing but incredible things to say and what her team has gotten out of it. So I have no doubt, and I'm sure raise your hand if you got something out of that call. It's incredible. So thank you so much. I do have all the information and I will be sharing it in our team pages. But I hope this spoke to you guys as much as this spoke to me, because definitely amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much, Brad. If you guys have questions, feel free to send them my way. But everybody's saying thank you. Yeah. It was incredible. So I will definitely share all of the details. And I think this is a recording we'll be watching a few times. Yeah. All right, guys. So I hope you have an amazing night. And Brad, I don't think we can thank you enough. Okay. Bye, guys.